To the person I'm dating, from your asexual lover.
So I've decided to get more into the dating scene, and although the internet will not be getting my dating stories because I do have boundaries, I am making this for the people who will date me, who will Google me up. Yes, I know they will. I see you. Hello, welcome. My physical, virtual, and parasocial worlds are colliding. And when you search for me being asexual is one of the first things that comes up. Out of all of the aspects of my identity, I don't really prefer to lead with my asexuality, but these days you can't really avoid having algorithms make decisions for you. And when you learn that I'm asexual, especially if you don't know much about asexuality, you might think to yourself, oh, she's asexual, she must not want to have sex. Swipe left. Wait, no, that's not what that means. Give me a chance, let me explain. Please don't run away. Hey, it's your girl Asante, helping you move consciously and creatively through life. I make videos about personal development and social awareness. Happy Ace Week. It's the week where we celebrate asexuality in all of its various forms, shapes, and shades. I will link more information about Ace Week in the description. And today I'm addressing one of the things that most worried me about publicly coming out on the public internet, and that's what will a potential partner think if they see that I'm asexual and I'm not there to explain myself. And I also want to dispel something that even my friends get wrong about who would be good to date an asexual person, but I'll get to that in a bit. There's just not a lot of ace representation out there, ace meaning on the asexual spectrum, and so people make a lot of incorrect assumptions. Part of why I even bothered to come out online, even though sexuality isn't one of my primary topics, is because I thought it was important to be visible, to be just a little bit of representation, and to just be a normal person living my life who happens to be asexual. Being asexual means that you experience little to no sexual attraction to other people. The key word here is attraction. It's not about whether you want to have sex or whether you enjoy sex. Being asexual doesn't mean being celibate. Being asexual doesn't determine the decisions that you make about your sex life. Some asexuals are sex repulsed and want nothing to do with it, while some, like myself, are sex favorable. Your sexual attraction is not the same as your sexual activity, although for some people those two things are linked. And sexual attraction is not the same as romantic attraction, even though for a lot of people those two things are linked as well. There's lots of variation within asexuality around whether you experience romantic attraction or not, whether you like intimacy or not, whether you experience absolutely no sexual attraction or just not as much sexual attraction as people typically experience. So I just wanted to share how my asexuality feels to me. And again, we're talking about my feelings and perspective and opinions and not my activity. I said it in my coming out video and I'll say it here. I don't discuss my sexual or romantic activity online. That's my personal boundary and it's something I consider to be private. For me, asexuality means that I don't prioritize sex and sex is not a motivating factor for me. I have a libido, I have a sex drive, but pursuing someone just to have sex with that specific person is not a thing that I understand, and there are a lot of things that I don't understand because of that. Like, I had to realize that one night stands were a real thing that actually happens, not just in the movies. There's nothing that would motivate me to sleep with someone who I don't know at all, like to the point of not being able to remember their name. Like, I don't understand how there's a level of attraction such that satisfying that attraction is worth the potential risks of that situation. Like, I don't get it. Or the fact that people will pursue someone just to have sex with them, and then once they have sex, they're like, okay, done, I'm satisfied, that was it. What? Or that when people say a celebrity is so hot, I'd do them, that if they had an opportunity, they actually would. Like, I thought that was just like a way people spoke, but like they would actually do it, like they would go for it. Or that people see sex as a motivating factor as to whether someone is a good partner to have in life, or even a good person to have in your life in general. Like the fact that it's real and not just in media, that people will say, yeah, this person's kind of toxic, but the sex is really good. And I'm like, really? It's like that? Like, there is that much of a need for sex with this one person that you're willing to put up with all this BS just to get those goods. And then there was realizing that choosing to be celibate is assumed to be this difficult decision, like you're exerting so much restraint and discipline by not engaging with other people sexually, whereas for me, it's not that hard. So those were the types of things that started to make me think, there's a feeling that I'm not feeling here? I kind of thought everyone was exaggerating, but y'all are really serious about this. I guess I'm different. And it's easy to think that there's something wrong with you, like you're not feeling this thing that you're supposed to be feeling, or like maybe you're not mature enough, or like you're going about things the wrong way. It's easy to feel broken. I've written about it. I've felt that feeling. So that's why it's important to talk about it and have things like Ace Week. It was reassuring learning that there were other people out there who experience these same feelings or non-feelings, knowing that asexuality is not a disorder or anything that needs to be fixed, and distinguishing between asexuality and allosexuality, which is the term for people who do experience sexual attraction. For me, asexuality isn't a disinterest in sex, it's a deprioritization of sex, especially relative to folks who are allosexual. Like, y'all are really out here pressed about sex, and while I think it's a fun and pleasurable activity to do with a partner, there are other fun activities to do with a partner. Like, yeah, cool, sure, but also other things, and also I could go either way. Like, everyone's pressed about this one thing, like super pressed. Why is everyone so pressed? That's what my asexuality feels like. Where people get me wrong, particularly in reference to dating, is saying, oh, you're asexual? You could find someone else who's asexual. Maybe there are dating groups for asexuals. You could find someone else who feels the same way. And anyone who's having this conversation with me is a friend, and I know they're trying to be encouraging and supportive and saying that, but I didn't say I wanted to date someone who was asexual. Because again, this is not about not wanting to have sex, and I actually don't think I'd prefer to date someone who's asexual, and I'll tell you why. I feel like it's a little like saying to an introvert, oh, you can find another introvert to be with, and you can both stay in the house and read all night together. And while sure, that's fine, a lot of introverts wind up being attracted to extroverts. Being introverted doesn't mean that you don't like socializing. And part of the appeal can be that an extrovert can bring you out of your shell. They can get you to try new things. As extroverts like a lot of external stimulation, they can introduce you to more stimulating experiences that you might not have ventured into otherwise. Do you see where I'm going with this? And on the flip side, an introvert can get an extrovert to really develop their inner life, to reflect more on their circumstances and actions and emotions, to be more thoughtful and sensitive. There's a mutual benefit. Being with someone whose tendencies differ from your own can be a nice compliment and can allow you to grow and get to know yourself in ways that you might not otherwise. Being asexual doesn't mean that I don't like sex, but it does mean that I'm not as naturally inclined to do as much sexual exploring as other people are. Not just in physically getting out there, but also in the media that I consume and in the information that I seek out. I'm just not looking for sex in the same way that a lot of people are looking for sex and watching things about sex and reading things about sex and talking about sex and thinking about sex. How many times have I said sex in this video? Someone count it out. So I welcome being with a partner who can introduce me to new things and make interesting suggestions and push me to have a richer sex life. It's a way for me to better get to know what I like, better get to know who I am as a sexual being, and get to grow in that area. And we are all about personal growth and discovery on this channel. So my flavor of asexuality is sex favorable, others are sex neutral, others are sex repulsed. Asexuality is a good overarching term to distinguish how we're different from the allosexual majority and to establish that difference as legitimate, but it's really up to you to get to know who you're dealing with and what they want. If I was dating you and I didn't tell you that I was asexual, you probably wouldn't assume so. In general, I like intimacy and cuddling and being physical with other people. I like physical touch as a love language. I love going dancing with people. I miss going dancing with people. When will it be safe for us to go dancing again? I'm so ready to hit the club. And I just love my body. Like, it's been a journey, but we are here, okay? So let's get it on is what I'm saying. But I'm chill about it, you know? Like, if you don't want to get it on right now, that's also fine. Now, like I said, I do have a libido, so, you know, I do want to be getting some action. But if tonight you literally just want to Netflix and chill, then throw on Squid Game and let's just keep it cuddly. So for the allosexuals watching, I hope this was helpful in understanding one slice of an asexual experience of the world. For anyone currently dating me, I hope this video was enlightening, if not conventional in format for this conversation. Feel free to talk to me in person. And because there are quite a few asexual folks who watch my videos, let me know in the comments if you related to that introvert-extrovert analogy, especially if you're sex favorable, or if there's a different analogy that you prefer. You can check out my other videos on sexuality and gender right here. And if you've watched this far into the video, then I feel like our relationship is going pretty well, like you seem kind of into me, so you might as well subscribe. And thank you to my Patreon patrons who have made that relationship commitment real and are supporting me and making these videos long term. As always, remember to live spiritedly and think creatively, and I will see you next time.